I would say probably 80 to 90% of golfers that I see for lessons have the goal of hitting the ball more consistently, which essentially means hitting the ball better. So most of the shots that most of us hit are in some way mishit most of the time. Now, for the really highly skilled players, those mishit shots to them are real, but to us as observers, if we're watching them, we would say that they never mishit a shot at all, but they do. So let's have a look at the characteristics that make up the good shots so that we can try and do the things that are going to help us avoid mishits or avoid the big mishit, which is the one that really costs us a lot of shots, a lot of extra shots. So first thing is we're looking to strike the ball out of the middle of the club face. Now, one way that you can check that is if I put a chalk mark on the back of the ball and then strike it, the chalk mark is going to leave a mark on my club face. So that can give me an understanding of where I'm striking the ball on the club face. The second, and just as importantly, and which actually contributes to hitting the ball out of the middle of the club face, is my strike point on the ground. Now, if I hit the ground in the right spot and I hit the ball out of the middle of the club face, the shot will feel fantastic. So that's always my goal. Now, what I'm looking to do is when I strike the ball, I'm looking to have the club meet the ball on the ground at the same time. So when I'm playing my shot, if I'm on grass, I can put a mark on the grass or put a tee in the ground here, which is actually what I'm going to do. So if I put that tee just in the ground there, so that's sort of marking where my club is, then I play the shot, we can see that my divot mark has just started about where the ball is. The club's made contact with the ground at the same time, and the divot here that you can see is actually ahead of the ball. Now, that divot there is probably about, say, 6 inches or 15 centimeters long. When I'm playing my shots, that's probably about going to be the distance or the length of the divot. Now, as the club gets longer, I'm still contacting the ground the same way, but because of the length of the shaft, I'll be more or less bruising the ground rather than taking a divot. If I'm using a really lofted club, a wedge or something like that, then my divot might be about the same length, but it might be deeper because my swing path is steeper because the club shaft is shorter. But if you're practicing monitoring where your contact point is on the ground, as well as monitoring whether or not you're striking the ball out of the middle of the club face, pretty quickly you're going to understand your own movement patterns. Have a look, let me know in the comments what your movement pattern is, your strike pattern. Is it in the ground on the right spot? Is it in the middle of the club face? As you start to monitor these things, does it help? Let me know.